ko dia hau, haramai. Welcome to Homemade Let's Cook. Today we are making chocolate truffles, and these are great for getting your hands dirty and making something really yummy as well. You can even package them up and have them for Christmas presents as well, and they make a lovely gift any time of the year or just for a snack. Okay, so let's have a look at what you're going to need. So I've got a packet of these nest biscuits or nice biscuits, it depends what you'd like to call them, or we can also use in New Zealand the super wine biscuits, but just a plain biscuit. We need a couple of tablespoons of cocoa, Cadbury cocoa, and we need a cup of desiccated coconut. That's really important, desiccated coconut. Then we need a tin of sweetened condensed milk. So I've gone ahead already and I have crunched up the biscuits in the food processor. But if you don't have a food processor, you can always use a rolling pin and put the biscuits in a bag and just roll it out until you've got a fine crumb. So let's just move some things aside here. So we're going to start with putting in the biscuits. I'll just release that from that mixer. It's very warm in here today, so I'm glad we're not doing anything which uses the oven. So we'll put the biscuit crumbs in our bowl, just like that. Then into that, we'll pop a cup of our desiccated coconut, 2 tablespoons of our cocoa. Now I think I've only got 2 tablespoons left in this packet, so that will do perfectly. So it looks just like that, and then we'll give that a stir. Just like that. Okay, now make a well in the center, and that just means make a little hole in the center, so it's like a bit of a crater. Then pour in your sweetened condensed milk. Use a spoon to get out everything you possibly can out of the container. And then we start to mix. So it takes a little while for the mix to come together. This is a great recipe for the family all to get together and help with the rolling. So that should look a little bit like that. Now it's time to get a little bit dirty. But before we do, we're going to put some coconut for rolling in a container. So a container like this, or even bigger if you've got it, take some of your coconut, pop it into the container. Have this container handy, just so if you need some more, because probably will need some more. So I've put about a couple of centimetres in there. Take a bowl so we can put the completed truffles in there when we're finished rolling. Take a teaspoon, and you need about, depends how big you'd like your truffles to be, but about a heaped teaspoon, so it comes up like a little bit smaller than a golf ball. Roll it around in your hands like so, and then just tip it in there. Now I find just do a few at a time, and then give your little container a little bit of a jiggle. find your hands get quite sticky doing this. So you might have to wash your hands every once in a while. Give the container a little jiggle. You'll see that it starts to coat the balls. And if it doesn't, you can just give them a little push around. And you'll see they end up like that. And then you can just put them in a bowl or on a plate. I'm actually going to substitute this for a plate because it's actually easier if they refrigerate or cool in the fridge on a plate and they're not sticking together, so they're not heaped on top of others. But sometimes that's unavoidable if you don't have a big enough container. So I'm just going to swap that over. And then you can see them going onto the plate. And as lovely as they already look, they do need that time to solidify in the fridge before you can eat them. They still taste nice, but not quite as nice. Great size for your lunchbox as well. But they do, obviously the coconut has a tendency to go not everywhere. So make sure you maybe put them in a small container or put them in some wrap before you put them in your lunchbox. So I'm just going to do a few more to show you, and then we'll come back at the end and see how many we've made. Give them a jiggle. Likely to get a bit of coconut on the bench, but that's okay. Will help with the cleanup as well. You can shake off any excess before you put it on the plate. There we go. We're going to continue and come back at the end. We'll see you soon. Wash up your hands and then we're done. So we've made about 30 chocolate truffles today. Yum! Now don't forget, submit a picture of what you've made and send it in to us at the library. And at the end of term, we're going to do a prize draw for a cookbook. I hope you've enjoyed today's recipe, chocolate truffles. Remember, they need to go in the fridge for probably at least an hour, and then you can eat them to your heart's content. Enjoy. Thanks for joining us. Ka kite.